It is Tuesday, November 27th. My name is Kemper. This is a show we call 3rd and 21. Two things we do here. Talk about college football. Try to have a little fun. Talk about college football. Try to have a little fun. Championship weekend is upon us. This is the culmination of conference play. We find out who is the best team in each conference. Great weekend. Before we go into thumbs up, thumbs down, I'm going to give a personal thumbs up to rivalry weekend, the emotions, the colors, the leftover Thanksgiving food. I love that weekend. I debate myself all the time. Is opening weekend the best? Is rivalry weekend the best? Is championship weekend the best? I don't know, but I'll tell you what, a huge thumbs up for rivalry weekend. Hey, KPI Top 12 is out. We'll talk about that in a minute, but before we do, let's go to a segment we call Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down, where we talk about teams not in the KPI Top 12.
Thumbs up!
The Egg Bowl. The Egg Bowl always delivered. Even though it was a 35-3 slaughter by Mississippi State, you knew there was going to be drama. Two teams that absolutely are nuts, that do not like each other. Egg Bowl delivers on Thanksgiving every year.
Thumbs down.
I guess in announcer school, you have to learn to say whenever two teams get in a fight, oh, this is ugly. Oh, they're embarrassing. No, they're kids. The emotion got the best of them. Listen, I'm not saying that they don't need to be punished. You've got everything on video. You can see exactly who does what. They need to be punished, but come on, man, give them a break.
Thumbs up!
The triple threat. Dig this. When you can beat your arch rival, in the meantime, become bowl eligible and deny your arch rival bowl eligibility, that's awesome. Vanderbilt did it to Tennessee, and Purdue did it to Indiana. That's cool.
Thumbs down.
The University of Connecticut finished a historically bad season, especially on defense, with a 50-6 slaughter by Temple. UConn really needs to think about FCS, and while we're doing it, Rutgers, we're looking at you.
Thumbs up!
Dan Mullen, if you got to see the video, maybe we can find a clip of it, of Dan Mullen at the end of the Florida State game. One of his players was trying to plant the Florida flag on the Florida State field, which is an uncool thing to do, and anybody would be justified in defending their field, that you don't want somebody else's flag getting planted on there. But it was a real cool insight to the relationship between coach and player as he was trying to get him, hey, don't do that, don't do that.
Thumbs up!
Arizona State hire Herm Edwards is light years ahead of Arizona's hire of Kevin Sumlin. Again, we're going to try to find a clip of the Arizona State players talking about what they went through as Arizona team was losing their minds. It shows the difference in coaching. Good job, Arizona State.
Welcome to 3rd and 21, a show where we talk about college football and try to have a little fun. Where we talk about college football and try to have a little fun. Now back to you,
All right,
Kemper.
welcome back. Thank you, Jenny, for the voiceover. Hey, we're going to change things up just a little bit. We're going to only talk about the KPI Top 6 to leave room for some of the championship games that we want to get into. So, tipping our hand again at number 1, but coming in at number 6 is Oklahoma. Absolutely terrific offense. Love watching it. Kyler Murray is playing at an extremely high level. Going to give you a quick insight. He is my Heisman candidate. Number 1 now, going into championship games. The way he's playing is outstanding. Kyler Murray leading it. The problem the KPI has with Oklahoma, the defense just will not get a stop. They need to practice tackling at Oklahoma. There's no reason Oklahoma cannot have quality athletes on defense. Number 5, Ohio State. If Ohio State plays like they did against Michigan, they can run with anybody. But it is, what team are you going to get? You're going to get the guys who sleptwalk through Maryland? Or is it going to be the team that absolutely looked dominant against Michigan? Felt a little bit sorry for Michigan on Saturday. Coming in at number 4, what? Yes, Notre Dame. Notre Dame took USC's best shot was actually down 10-0 at the in the first quarter, fought back like a championship team does, but Notre Dame coming in at number 4. Number 3, Georgia Bulldogs absolutely annihilated in-state rival Georgia Tech. Fromm is playing on extremely high level. Everything is working. Everything is working. They're peaking right at the right time. Georgia bust in the KPI at number 3. And number 2, the Clemson Tigers. Hey, if you watched it, again, they got arch rival South Carolina's best shot. Jake Bentley threw for 510 yards, opening up some questions about the Clemson defense. I wouldn't worry so much about that. But they took their best shot from their arch rival and wound up winning the game going away. Number 1, again, from coast to coast, Alabama. Ran out of superlatives to talk about Alabama months ago. But I'll tell you this, it was, 17-14 at halftime, and the game was a blowout, 21 straight points. Alabama is a machine. Tua, the defense, everything about it. Alabama is clearly the best team in the country. Tell you what, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the championship games. Can't wait to do that. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Always want to say thank you to the good people at Maxi Homes. Maxi Homes GA, long on quality, short on drama. I can tell you for a fact, this is Butch Maxi's favorite weekend of the year, championship weekend, where we will find out who is the best in each conference. Let's break down these games real quick. Let's start it out with
the MAC Conference, Buffalo versus Northern Illinois.
Interesting game. Northern Illinois has an outstanding defense. They got there through defense. Offense is challenged. Buffalo is a solid team. I think Buffalo is going to win this game going away.
American Athletic Conference, UCF versus Memphis.
You know, I want to take a quick minute here and talk about UCF because after McKenzie got hurt, McKenzie Milton, UCF quarterback, got hurt, made me think maybe I was a little too hard on UCF. They are a quality team and can play with most teams in the country, but the schedule's just so terrible that KPI couldn't get behind it. But prayers are going out for McKenzie Milton. It was a pretty gross injury if you saw it. Hey, what we're going to do is find out a lot about UCF. You can come in and win a conference championship with a backup quarterback. That says a ton about you. Memphis is one of those teams, when I watch them, they're pretty good. Anytime I pick them, guaranteed to lose.
Sun Belt Conference, App State versus Louisiana Lafayette.
Love App State. They're going to absolutely boat race Lafayette. Coach Satterfield will get another Sun Belt Conference title. He has built a program there to be proud of. App State, one of my favorite group of 5 schools.
The WAC, Fresno State versus Boise State.
Under the radar, maybe the best championship game. One of the ones I'm most excited about. I think is going to be an outstanding game. Excited about this. Now, if Memphis can beat UCF, Boise State could get into that New Year's Day 6 bowl, a place where they're pretty used to being. So watch out for this game. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
Pac-12 Conference, Utah versus Washington.
Utah is, man, they are a grindy team. They are hurt. A lot of their best players are out, but they are a grindy team. What a comeback. I think we already talked about it, but what a comeback against BYU. Man, against Washington, who started off the year as a serious college football playoff contender. Things didn't work out for them, but they can still win the Pac-12 title, and that is a pretty good year. Go to the Rose Bowl. That's not a bad thing.
ACC, Clemson versus Pitt.
Watch out, because you did see Clemson defense give up a ton of yardage in a rivalry game against a really hot quarterback, but Pitt is not South Carolina. This is going to be an absolute slaughter. When the line came out at 26.5, I laughed. That's a quick lean for put your money where your mouth is. But Clemson is going to dominate this game from start to finish. Watch for a big score.
Big 12, Texas versus Oklahoma.
Super excited about this one. Texas is playing with an attitude. They're really playing with the swagger. Oklahoma is outstanding, like we talked about in the KPI top 6. Offense is as good as it gets. The KPI just doesn't like weak defenses. Watch out for it. It's going to be a fun game, and a lot of points will get scored. But Texas is playing with a swagger. I like to see that.
Big 10, Ohio State versus Northwestern.
Which Ohio State team comes out? If Ohio State comes out and plays like they did against Michigan, it is going to be an absolute slaughter. Northwestern's a pretty good team, a better than average, a good team. Got a really good quarterback, an NFL quarterback, and good players. Not anywhere near the level of Ohio State. It's just, can they get the momentum that they built up against Michigan to continue? I think they can.
SEC, the games everyone is excited about, Alabama versus Georgia.
Man, this is going to be a de facto championship game. Cannot wait to see two heavyweights go at it, strength against strength. They know each other, coaches know each other, everybody. There's not going to be any secrets. One little key to keep in mind, Georgia has an absolutely fantastic kicker, Rodrigo Blankenship. Alabama, if there is one weakness to Alabama, it's the kicking game. If it comes down to that and late in the game, edge to Georgia. Cannot wait to watch this game. You're going to see it again and put your money where your mouth is. So I tell you what, with that, let's go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we will go to the ever-popular money, put your money where your mouth is, and the ever-popular mailbag. Thank you. All right, welcome back. Hey, I forgot to say in the last segment that Maxi Homes, link is in the description below. Long on quality, short on drama. Check out what they do, MaxiHomesGA.com. Good folks. Speaking of good folks and Butch Maxi, let's go straight to Butch Maxi's favorite segment, and that is Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is. It's where I pick games against the spread all season long. We keep track. How did we do last week?
1-4-1 for
Listen,
20%.
when it comes to rivalry games, man, you know, I'm going to make a note to myself, go light on rivalry games.
That will not pay rent, which brings us to a total of 25, 26, and 2 for 49%.
Dipped under the 50%, but listen, I view life out the windshield, not out the rearview mirror. We're going to go 4-0 this weekend, starting with the MAC football game, championship game. Buffalo is a quality team playing Northern Illinois. Now, listen, I do like Northern Illinois' defense, but Buffalo is going to overcome them with a terrific run game, a good offense that's scoring over 30 points a game. Northern Illinois will not be able to hang with that. Lay the 3.5 points. Lay the 3.5 points. Buffalo gets it done. Next up, Clemson versus Pitt. Again, there was some concern with Clemson giving up all the yardage. Do not worry about it. When the line came out at 26.5, I laughed. If you want to buy that up to 35.5, do it and feel comfortable. I see this as a 55-17, 55-10 type game. This will be done by halftime. Clemson's super quality team. Pitt is pretty good. Next up, we have NC State. If you got to see NC State, they really had to go to overtime to beat a very poor UNC team. But that's what rivalry weekend is, man. But they're playing ECU this weekend. ECU, coolest logo in NCAA. But they got a terrible football team. Looks like the third year in a row with 3-win season. After NC State blows them out, lay the 26.5 points. NC State gets it done easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Next up, Georgia versus Alabama. Alabama is historically this is a historically great Alabama team. We really have to look at all-time teams to rank this Alabama team. I think Georgia keeps it closer than 13.5 points. I think this is going to come down to the end. Georgia could win this game. Give me 13.5 points with Georgia, and I think that's going to get you to 4-0, which would take us to 29-26 and gets back over that 500 where we want to be. Tell you what, let's go to the ever popular mailbag. That's where you can write in, ask me any question whatsoever. I'll do my level best to give you a clear and concise answer. First question.
Kevin from Kalamazoo. What are your biggest 2018 disappointments?
Biggest disappointments. Let's start west and work east. Stanford was really a team that I thought was going to do more than what they did. USC, anytime USC is not playing for a Pac-12 title, that's a disappointment. TCU, I thought had an outside shot at the Big 12 title game, if not more. TCU definitely underperformed. Wisconsin, 7-5, yeah, it's a good, decent year, but everybody, including me, thought they would win the Big 12 West or Big 10 West. So Wisconsin, and how about this? Everybody in the ACC besides Clemson. Next question.
Jay from Tampa. Are you keeping up with the FCS playoffs?
Absolutely. Love the FCS playoffs, man. Love the emotion. These guys work out just as hard as everybody else. Love it. North Dakota State is odds-on favorite to win it, but I want to give a shout-out to my friends in Maine with the Maine Black Bears. Maybe catch some of that game.
T from Santa Ana. What are your thoughts on the big game this weekend being postponed?
Yeah, hey, listen, love the big game. Love it. Stanford versus California. Stanford leads a series 65-41, right in that in 11 ties. Great rival game. Can't wait to watch it. Wanted to put it in the put your money where your mouth is. Didn't have the courage to pick California, but California's playing really well right now. Would definitely lean California. So, all right, with that, let's go ahead and put a wrap on it. Enjoy this championship game. We'll be back to wrap it up next week, and we'll talk soon.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.